Hi there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Capital A Trading. I'm your host, Ads. It's going to be my Forex Weekly, just checking out what trades are going to be looking the best for this week. So again, if you like the sounds of that, hit that subscribe button in the bottom right corner. Stay up to date with the channel. There's going to be some exciting new things coming. So again, don't miss out on that. Let's get straight into it. Okay, guys, I'm going to start off with the pound USD. We had that brilliant trade last week from this 4-hour picture from that 139 level, and it dropped. It's come down to where I even actually expect it to reach to, which is the 136 level. So it's almost there. It came to the 136,600, so about 60 pips away. What I'm going to say for this week, and I'll just quickly move it to a daily time frame so you can see the picture a bit clearer. I'm going to watch this area here. So it is the 136 level. I'm going to see how price reacts around there for the buy opportunity. Now, if I just quickly go back to the 4-hour, that's the picture that we're looking at. It's this piece of price action over here in this level right here. And that's what I'm looking for. So there's the gap that's been made. There's that picture that we're used to. Let's see how price comes back. Maybe 136,500, 136 is going to be somewhere in there. I want to see price struggle, and then we're going to be looking for the buy push to then maybe go and make a new high as well. So again, just keep an eye on the 136 level this week. That will probably come more alive Tuesday. So like I said, one thing you'll learn with me, a pattern that I have, is that Monday I like to kind of sit and watch, see where price is, the areas that it's heading to. And then Tuesday morning with the London session around 8 o'clock in the morning, I like to see, like to aim to enter some positions around there. That's the time that the market makers will be doing it. So I'm trying to follow them. That's the pound USD. Keep an eye on that, this one for this week. Okay, guys, the next one I want to talk about, Euro USD. Okay, so last week had that buy trade that we just missed out on. I mentioned the 117 level. It came within about 5 pips. It moved up. It's having a great push towards what I have been mentioning for a few weeks now, is this 4-hour picture for the sell. So I'm looking at this area here. I believe we're going to get a push from the 120,300 mark. I like the double top that's been sitting here for ages now. There's going to be a lot of liquidity there. So there's going to be a lot of traders that are taken out of positions in that area. So when price does shoot through it, there's going to be a lot of liquidity building. So again, I'm going to look to see price struggle there. And then, of course, we're going to look for the big sell to then come and make a new low. So I want to see price come a lot lower than where 117 is now. So keep an eye on the 1.20 level. This is the Euro USD. Okay, guys, the next one I want to talk about is the Euro NZD. So, of course, I know a lot of my students trade this. So one thing I want to tell you about last week, I noticed there was a bit of strength gaining in the Euro. So just be aware of this move. Kind of take it with a pinch of salt. I am saying that it can get taken out, but I'm going to plot the sell. I'm going to watch the sell. I'm going to show you what I'm thinking. If I just come down the time frames a bit, just to give a bit more understanding. I had a student that was trading this area, and I know that he was taken out by this candle. So he started to see some profits, and then it came back, took him out of break even. So now that I understand what happened there, and it obviously happened to one of my students, I know that that's more than likely going to be an institutional candle. That's going to be where the market makers have stepped in and started to manipulate price on that candle that I've highlighted. Now, as you can see, it comes back at a later date and it reacts perfectly, and it's kind of reacted there twice now. So what I'm saying is just keep an eye on the 169,500, 169,800. It can go from the 17 level. So I'm going to be looking at the sell there off of that daily picture. I want to see price, get stuck here again, start to show maybe Monday, the candle sticking here and then rejecting. And then I'll be thinking about that entry for Tuesday morning. So that's the Euro NZD. We're looking at the sell, I'd say around about 169,700. Okay, guys, the next trade I want to talk about is the Euro Pound. It's been very bearish for quite a long time now. I had a good trade all the way up there. As you can see, I pulled out quite early. It's come all the way down. It's dropped about 500 pips. So what I'm looking at now is this 87 mark. I believe it's now had a good retracement. I can see a structure break on the daily here. So from understanding that, I know price will have to come back to this point at some point, the 85 mark, and then there'll be maybe a higher push. So I'm going to focus on the sell. If I just come down the time frame, I liked the way it's been struggling on Friday. I see it struggling in this area. It's where my imbalance is. So I know that price is stuck there. Nobody has been able to get out of it. It tells me that the area I'm looking at, it holds weight. It's going to be possibly a good push from this area. So what I'm saying is focus on the 87 level. This is the picture that I'm looking at. This is the candle that I'm playing off. I'm expecting price to come a little bit higher than what it is now. So at the moment, it's just about 30 pips underneath the level. So my red lines, that's where I believe the sell is going to come from. It could come from 87,100. If it goes higher than this area, if it goes higher than this level, the trade will become void to me. That's 87,300. So we can have a nice tight stop loss. Everything's kind of fitting for how I want to trade. So this is going to be one of my main focuses this week. Keep an eye on that euro pound. Okay, guys, the next one I want to talk about is the pound ZND. I'm looking at a potential buy off this area. I think it's going to be around the 194, 193, 500 level if I just come down to a 4 hour. Before I do that, just looking at all this liquidity that's going to be up here. And I still believe price has got to come and do something up here at this level. So around about the 2 level, 2.000. So keep an eye on this one. It's this area here. So here we go. This is the candle that I'm looking at. It's 193, 100. Okay, so I'm looking to see price reject off of that candle and then make a move to the upside, at least taking out all of this here that's not been touched. There's going to be liquidity above here. There's going to be liquidity above here. So just keep an eye on that level. It's going to be the 193, let's say 193, 200. That will be the area where I want to do a buy entry. And again, if I can, underneath this candle, that's a bit big. Let me see if I can just come down to the 2 hour time frame, see how it looks. I'm going to aim to have a 30 pip stop loss. So at the moment, 193, 100 won't cut it for me. That's going to be a risky trade to take. However, I'm going to monitor it, just see how it plays. I'll be looking to take an entry somewhere around there if I can get the right risk on the trade. So keep an eye on that. That's the pound ZD. Okay, guys, the next one I want to talk about is the pound Swiss franc. Now, with this one, we've got the higher time frame kind of riding with us. So I've been watching this area. I actually had a trade in that candle that came down, that bearish candle there. It now looks like this area is starting to be everything that I thought it would be. It's starting to show that sell push. It looks like it's come off the 1.3 level. So just going to come down a bit. I'm going to come down the time frames. And what I'm looking at is this 4 hour swing down that's, come from around that 130, 500 level. I'm going to look at an entry around the 128, 500. I want to see price push back up, show me another retest off this level. And then that's maybe where I'm going to be taking my trade for the big push down. So again, just keep an eye on the 128, 500, 129, somewhere around there. That's the pound Swiss franc. Okay, the next two moves I want to show you is going to be in the Euro AUD, the Eurocad. The first one's the Euro AUD. It doesn't look as good to me, and you'll see why when I show you the Eurocad. But what I'm saying is I like the way price has rejected off this area a couple of times. I like the way that this double top has now been taken out by this candle. I'm going to just watch the area. If it is going to play, it can come from the 156, 500 level. That's where I'm going to be expecting to take an entry. And again, I could have that 30 pip stop loss. That's the Euro AUD. That's where I'm looking at a potential sell. However, this one looks better to me. I've been watching this one for a little while now, the Eurocad. It's come into my area where I've had an untouched scenario for my students that know. Price hit it perfectly, and now it's starting to drop. It's starting to show progression in the drop as well. So what I'm going to look at early next week is the 150 level that this is all happening at. What I'm going to look at is price just retesting, coming back up towards this little gap here that we've got on the 4 hour off of this candle now. So that's going to be a slightly lower entry around, let's say 149, 650. I want to see price hit that and start to reject again. And then we're going to get the prices coming down towards 147, hopefully from there. So that's going to be the trade that I'm looking at. There's a good 250 pips there. So just keep an eye on that one. That's going to be the Eurocad. Okay, guys, the next three I'm going to take you through all involve the Japanese yen. Now, this was a trade that I mentioned recently around that 78 level, and price has started to drop from it nicely. So there's a very similar trend to the trades this week that we're looking for. Price has now moved out of areas that I've previously mentioned. So I'm going to look at price retesting them areas and then hopefully going again for what will be a deeper push, a new low. So that's NZD JPY. Again, I'm just going to probably lower this a little bit and say keep an eye on the 77, 750 level. So that's just going to be somewhere where my cursor is now. I want to see price come back up to there, possible retest. So keep an eye on that one. I'll just move through to the Euro JPY. Now, this is a trade that, again, one of my students was involved with. A very similar result where price came down. We had about 60, 70 pips of profit, and then it came back to take out a break even. All it's simply done, the market makers have come back, removed all of them early sellers, the sellers that got in too early. They've taken them out, and then they make a new low, a deeper drop. They're now back at the same area. So yes, are we expecting to see the same thing? Of course. is it going to be, there's going to be more chance of this now getting taken by the market makers, because pure and simply, more retail traders are starting to notice the area. So again, I'm going to let Monday play. I'll be watching this Tuesday morning. The next one is Aud Jpy. Now this one's still valid for me. I'm still waiting on the 84,800 level, 84,600. So up here in this blue box, it can come a bit higher, maybe towards the 85 level. Let this one go until it gets up to there. I'm not really interested. Other than that, I'm going to take a sell at that position. Other than that, let's play. Let's let Monday go. Same pattern. I'll have a look Tuesday morning. This is another pair. I must admit, I don't actually usually trade this pair. However, it was brought to my attention by one of my students, and it actually looks really good to me. First thing I want to show you is this weekly time frame. Price is in an area where I believe it can continue to come down now, and it started to show. This is very similar to the pound Swiss franc. It started to show that energy. It started to show that the area I'm looking at is going to be a sell. So what I'm just doing now, I'm just coming down a time frame. I'm going to look at where I can possibly see a re-entry from. So I want to see this area get broken. For me, the daily's kind of remaining bullish here on this little movement up. So I want to see it get broken. Then I want to see a retest. I want to see a retest towards the 94 level, 93,500. Then we're going to get that bigger push to the downside, coming down here to take out all these targets and all the liquidity that's going to be below these levels. So again, the weekly timeframes with us, the higher timeframes saying that it should now start to make its way down. From history, I can tell you they're usually the strongest trades. So keep an eye on the USD Swiss franc. Okay, guys, this is just a quick update on a trade that was called around 2 weeks ago now, 3 weeks ago. It's on the UK 100. I've been mentioning this level around the 66.60, 66.40 level where the black lines are. Price came into our level and it's had a great push. I even mentioned that I wanted to see price go up towards the 7,000 mark, start to take out that high. I just wanted to show you an update that it's really starting to progressively get there. This is the target. I believe I want to see it come higher than that level there. It's pretty much on its nose. So again, just showing you that if you keep an eye on these videos, there's trades here for you to take, for you to hold. And if you can hold them for a week, which again, it isn't easy, you're going to see some profits. So again, keep an eye on UK 100 this week. What I want to see is I want to see the 7,000 level get taken for a liquidity grab. So I'm expecting price to just dip it, and then maybe we're going to get a little push from there. I'll be judging that. I'll probably be mentioning this one in the midweek video, UK 100. Okay, guys, just a quick update on that oil move I mentioned last week. I'm still waiting on the sell around the 64 mark. However, just looking at price here, looking at the price action off of this level around the 57.85 mark, I believe we might get another push, maybe around from the 58 whole number. I'm just going to be monitoring oil this week. I'm still expecting price to rise up towards that 64 mark. That's where I want to take the trade. That's where I believe the market's going to go. It's going to hit that area and then come down a lot lower. But if I know price has got to get up there to do something, there's nothing wrong with trying to ride that buy up towards that 64 mark. So just keep an eye on oil. I kind of only mentioned the sell before. I'm now mentioning the buy from this level. That'll be something to focus on this week from around the 57, 58 level. Keep an eye on that one. Okay, guys, I'm going to finish the video with the gold pairs. Now, the first one, I know a lot of my students look at this, is gold USD. I've been mentioning this for ages now. From this daily swing, I still want to see price do a proper retracement. So I'm saying that it needs to come to at least 1780 to the 1800 mark, somewhere in there, before it's going to hit that level and then go down for the new low. The reason it didn't make a new low when it was at this level here and it came down is because it hasn't done the deeper retracement yet. So now it looks like the deeper retracement's coming. It's coming into that level around the 1780, 1800. That's where I'll be looking to take a sell on gold. So that probably won't even get there this week. It may do, it may not. But if it doesn't, that's all I'm waiting for. I'm not waiting for anything else. If I come down to the gold euro, again, this one for me is getting a bit fishy now. Just for the pure simple fact that it's been sitting in this area for ages and ages. It feels like to me they're enticing traders to get into a market and then they're going to fly it against them. So I'm going to kind of stay away from the gold euro. It is playing perfectly off my level around the 1475, 1478 level. I've had this marked for ages now. It even came down and played off of this perfect buy level, which then shot price back up to it. So I'm going to kind of leave this one. The best looking one for me is the gold pound. Now, if I just move to the daily time frame, this is what I like to see. It's had the retracement. It's deep enough from the swing. What I'm saying is if it goes above 1290 now, the trade will be invalid to me. So I know when to kind of cancel all this. It's kind of sitting in the area. If I just come down to the 4 hour, this is the area we're looking at playing off. And I'm kind of saying, look, keep an eye on the 1285 level. That's where I'm going to be looking to take a sell position. The stop loss, of course, will have to be quite big, around 1290. If it hits that amount, the trade will become invalid to me. I believe we're going to get a massive push from this area to the downside, maybe even coming all the way down to 1200. So that's the gold pairs. Keep an eye on them for this week. Okay, guys, that's all from me this week. There's been a lot of trades there that are looking very good. They're lining up very nicely. So again, make sure you take some notes, set your alerts, keep an eye on the areas, pick 2 or 3 of the trades that I've mentioned, keep an eye on the areas, monitor them, and see how it's going to work out for you guys. If that all sounds good, hit that subscribe button in the bottom right corner. Stay up to date with the channel, stay up to date with the trades, keep an eye on them. Let's see how they progress. Let's see how we can make some profits. And I'll be updating how that all went in the midweek video. Other than that, have a great weekend. I'll see you all then.